But it says Wealth for Generations is live. Yep, you select. No, it's the Instagram account. This is just sending data.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Habari Live. It doesn't seem like it's on this deal. And it says we're live with Web Generation.
The Instagram account.
Just check. It says we're on Web Generation's Instagram.
Look here. Now it's not. Because it comes up here and tells me when it's not.
Ain't that doing anything? Check one. Check one.
Somebody join.
Can't even tell you, man. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live in Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Dipling Ellison.
And Isha.
All right, we're gonna we'll be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in your vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of the city. And let's get it going.
For sure.
So Habari Live, we always want to keep you guys updated on what's going on in the world and who's doing what. So let's run that Habari News weekly so we can go into some stories. In the chat.
Can those of you joining in TikTok, can you guys hear us well?
All right, man. Well, let's get to some stories this morning. We're kind of discombobulated this morning trying to make this stuff happen. I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know. It's tripping. But whatever. Keep going.
So let's go to Habari News Weekly. This week, man, we have a couple stories we're going to be talking about some of the things that's going on with Trump going into government. We did talk about his cabinet picks, which have been pretty terrible so far. A lot of people have been complaining about them. We have Gabby Gafford, that's people upset about. We have what was his name? Hicksford. I forget his name.
Asgard or Hicksgard or something like that. I don't really remember how to pronounce the guy's name.
It's Hickseth, I believe. Um, he's supposed to be going for a cabinet position, and he has some rape allegations that he had going on, and so it's kind of a mess. The people that he's put into place. Everybody's hollering DEI, DEI when it's the black person in charge, but all these people that have no history, no success at the places that they're fulfilling, and these people have never done the jobs before. They have never worked for these companies. They have no experience doing these jobs, and he's putting them in charge of all these places and all these things. That's pretty terrible, man. I'm not really understanding. We saw it last time, and everybody so it just makes me mad, man. We saw this mess. Look at the mess that we're having with these dude picking cabinet members, all because we've decided to let a guy go in that really doesn't have experience himself. Even though he's been the president, he has no government experience. He didn't go to college or do anything like that to for these things. So it's tough, man. And we hope to get through this next 4 years without the everyone going into a frenzy and having riots everywhere. Because right now, man, the things that they are doing, it's insane, man. We got Project 25. It's on the forefront. A lot of people are they talked and talked and talked, and they said Project 25 wasn't part of this.
Right.
They said that we didn't know what they was talking about, and we making up liberal lies. Now he's appointing how many people from Project 25 to his cabinet?
A whole lot.
How much stuff is he's doing that he's from Project 25 playbook? He's putting them all in place. Why'd you do that?
I just wanted to see something. Goodness.
Okay.
Anyway, you're right. He did just appoint everybody that had something to do with Project 2025, even though he repeatedly said, I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know what that is. What
Mm-hmm.
is that?"
Right.
But, they want to be outraged at Biden's lies.
Mm-hmm.
That he lied. He said he wasn't going to pardon his son.
Right.
Trump lied and said he didn't know what Project 2025 was. But yet here he is appointing everyone that had something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, we know, man. Bring your camera back. No, I mean, bring it. It's too close. We know the lies. You know what I'm saying? We know what's going on. And we've seen it all. And I just can't believe that how many people fell for this stuff, man. That how many people just thought that it was okay to go with this. Um, is that I just don't understand it. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't get it either. But it is what it is. So we shall see what the next 4 years hold. I
it's
mean,
gonna be
we
a
know
lot
it's
of
going to
mess, just like the first time he was in there.
every day will be very newsworthy. We can say
Hmm.
that.
Right. So we got the first story we want to talk about today is the steel workers feel gut punch as Trump plans to block takeover. They supposed to have been having a takeover with Nippon. I think that's the company called, and they're supposed to be buying U.S. Steel. And U.S. Steel, they're an American company, been here since I think they said 1909, something like that. How long the company has been in making moves in America,
Right.
making things change, doing things for people who need jobs. Um, U.S. Steel has been is a big intricate part of growing the economy in America and making changes for a lot of people. So uh, so we're going to talk about this story. It's making waves across the country and beyond. Uh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the show goes today, we'll be having a lot of action packed for you today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the story. Um, Trump's statement on Truth Social plagued pledged to make the U.S. steel strong again and great again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know when did it not stop being great, because we use a lot of steel in everyday products, right?
I mean,
But
I don't know.
with the tariffs and the tax incentives, some of the steel workers are opposing the sale. So we're going to see if Nippon's promised $2.7 billion investment is a game changer for the region.
Yeah, man. He announced plans via True Social to block the 14.9 billion sale of U.S. steel to Japan's Nippon Steel. Um, it's gonna be a big deal, man, for people to. I think the union was very upset about the situation, and they were upset that they didn't agree with it. Go ahead.
Well, the next thing I have is, let's go ahead and break it down further with today's key points. Um,
No, that's you're above that.
yeah,
All right, all
we
right.
already talked about the tariffs and the tax incentives, so that was the next thing.
Okay. So Trump's Trump's promise on Truth Social, Trump vowed to block Nippon's steel acquisition of U.S. steel, citing to a commitment to protecting American industry, is what he said. He wants to split opinions are going on because some local steel workers are divided. Some back Nippon's promise of investment and innovation, while union leaders fear it could jeopardize long-term jobs in the Pittsburgh area. The impact: U.S. Steel employs 3,500 people in the Mon Valley, critical economic engine for the region. Local leaders stress the importance of preserving jobs and steel making in the area.
Yeah, I mean, the fiery debate that that's been going on. It's pretty high stakes for the steel industry and the families that support our U.S. steel. I mean, even with the families that do support steel,
Hmm.
what do you think is happening here? What's your take?
My main thing that I was looking at is how ironic it is that some steel workers supported this deal, and yet many of them, voted for Trump, a leader with a history of being anti-union, much like other oligarchs. Meanwhile, Biden, one of the most pro-union presidents in history, stood on the picket lines with steel workers. It's just crazy that they went against Trump. I mean, against Biden when Biden was so pro-union, and he walked on the picket lines with
Mm-hmm.
them. He did so much to stand with the union workers, and a lot of the union workers still went with Trump.
Yep.
And it's something to talk about, man, because we just don't understand sometimes why people vote against their own needs when to who knows what they were trying to fulfill. But
Exactly.
it hurt this it hurt. It's going to hurt the unions. Republicans have always been anti-union. Elon Musk is anti-union. They don't like unions. Elon explained it as the 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 peasants fighting with the king, is what how he explained it. He look at his workers as peasants, and he's the king. And that's the type dynamic he said is going on when you have people fighting versus the union workers. So it's
Doesn't think he a king?
now I don't. He wasn't saying it in that way, but that's the
And the workers
example that he
are the
used.
peasants.
Right, peasants. Right,
Peasants.
he used that. That's the example he used. I didn't think it was a good example, but that's what he said. But man, the unions are a huge part of the American system. Unions have done so much to help people get jobs. We wouldn't have the 5-day work system, the 40 hours. We would be working until they tell us to stop if it wasn't for unions. It's so many things that unions have done to help the Americans and help the poor to grow.
Including helping with getting them insurance through their jobs.
Right.
making sure, like you said, making sure they only work 40 hours a week and that children under the age of 16 have a reasonable work schedule while they're still attending school.
Hmm. Yeah, man. So I mean, it sucks for the steel workers. I don't know how big I am about this deal because if it's kind of weird to see all of our companies being bought out by foreign entities.
Hmm.
You want these things to be based in America. I get that. I understand that. Um, but if these people felt like this was going to help the company, maybe you might want to look into it. But I on this, I kind of understand where Trump is coming from. I hate to agree with him on anything, but you don't really want this falling into this is a base company of America. It shouldn't fall into the hands of the Japanese. But they're still upset with Trump because I think he had an about face, or he just didn't discuss it during the campaign, or he tried to play like he was with it. Who knows, man? But
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. We'll see what happens in the next coming days on that deal and if the deal goes through. But looking from what Trump is saying, he is going to block this deal.
it seems like he blocks a lot of things. And he's saying he's going to block a lot of things and defund a lot of things and get
Hmm.
rid of a lot of departments. So we shall see.
Yeah, man. We have a lot of things going on right now. What Trump wants to put in place. They're building. They're bringing in really tough border czars. The people who put things in place to have people stay in Mexico. Um, they're going to do a lot. They're going to do a lot of things that's going to be tough, and we're going to have to stay diligent and just be the people who stand up and fight for the rights of the small people, man. It's going to be tough, but we'll do the best that we can to keep you guys updated on what's going on, so we can know what things are affecting us.
Definitely. All right. So, there was a few things that I wanted to talk about this week. One was the U.S. Federal Appeals Court on Friday. They did uphold the law requiring the Chinese-based ByteDance to divest its popular short video app TikTok in the United States by January 19th or face a ban. So what they're saying is that if it's not sold by January 19th, starting on January 20th, the app will no longer receive updates. You won't receive any additional new videos coming in, so you won't be able to see any of the new stuff that's coming in. We'll just start seeing the same videos
Hmm.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
So we shall keep an eye on that to see what's going on with that in the next 40 days or so.
Yeah, the way they set it up, it looked like it's going to be the decision's already going to be made by the time Trump get in there, who said he does want to keep TikTok. I guess it helped him a lot in this election.
Yeah,
I don't know, man, but I it's tough. It's a tough situation because you have a lot of people saying that TikTok is gathering information. They're gathering data, and the normal everyday person doesn't care.
right.
But the government is looking at, a they're gathering information that we do not want them to have about our country. And a lot of people are against them gathering this information. So it'll be tough to see TikTok go away. We don't want to see it go. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are making good money off of it, and they're doing good things to make different changes
Hmm.
using TikTok. So I understand, and people wanting to make their money, man, and do what they're doing, connecting with their people, and this is going to take it away from them and give them less options to be able to go viral, to be able to sell products. And a lot of people are just they're really doing well on TikTok.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I've been seeing too lately is that a lot of people are not just using TikTok for like we are, just providing information, right? Just to
Mm-hmm.
sit here and have a conversation. Most people are using TikTok to sell their products.
Right. Right.
Even though they're selling the products at a cheaper rate because of the way TikTok is set up,
Mm-hmm.
they're still being able to sell more of their inventory
Right.
that way.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be tough, man. But like I was saying, I would think, people would go to whatever application they need to go to, if this really goes through, and people will be able to, if their popularity has grown on TikTok, hopefully that popularity will go with them wherever they decide to set up shop.
Right.
Um, it does suck that they're trying to ban it, but I understand to a point, to a certain view. To a certain point of view, I do understand that. Hey, man, we have all these people that's coming in and they're gathering information. uh, uh, Companies are already doing that. Facebook, and they get mad at Facebook for doing it because of all the information that they are gathering. Companies are gathering information every day off of your telephone, off
Yep.
of when you're browsing, where you're going. They want to know this data. Companies want to know this data for they can help to sell you products, so they can see what products that you like. But do we want China having all this information? Is it worth it to have TikTok for someone that we would think of as an enemy, and having all our information and all our data on how we like to search, what videos we like to see? Did they have anything to do with Trump coming through and winning?
But that's the thing though. It's a social media site like Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. All of these social media sites
Yeah.
are using your data to be able to provide you with suggestions on how you like to browse, shop, just casually scroll through your phone.
I mean, I get it, but you got to understand that China's government pretty much runs their companies. So
That is true.
if a company has the data in China, then China has access to that data. It's Chinese government has access to that data, and they can use that in the bad way. Now, I'm not saying 100% that they're going to, because we don't know, and nothing has happened. And TikTok has been around what, 10 years, 5 6 years? I don't know.
It goes back to as far I started hearing about it probably right
Can
at the
we
beginning of COVID.
look it up to see?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
So I mean, the years that TikTok has been around, nothing has happened yet. But we also don't know how much data that they have gathered.
TikTok was first released in September of 2016.
Right. So 8 years. So we were about right. So about
By the
eight.
time it came popular in America, it was
Mm-hmm.
2020, 2021 when we're in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, I don't remember all that. When it became popular, I just, the app, it's growing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's people really love TikTok, man, and it's going to be tough for people to just drop it and not care about the application anymore.
Mhm.
So I feel sorry for all the people that really love TikTok and want to make great content on TikTok, but it's gonna be, they lost this last appeal. I don't know if they have any other appeals to be able to
No, because
help
I think
them.
that was the U.S. Appellate Court
Yeah,
that did that.
yeah. So this may be it. Now I don't know for sure if they're gonna sell. I don't think that they're gonna sell their application to an American company. They could maybe make an American company that's set up in America that does TikTok in America, and have a separate entity than the actual entity that they have in China. Maybe that can help, but I'm not 100% sure if they will do that, because they have their company, man. They don't have to sell their company, but since it is a Chinese company, America don't want to hear anymore. So,
I think what happened is that honestly, TikTok became popular overnight in America.
hmm
And I think it's just like how they did when Vine became really
the Vine
popular.
was sold though, right?
Yeah. And when it was sold, it disappeared.
Right.
So,
I don't understand why companies do that. They buy something and just kill it. I don't mean because they just want the
yeah.
people. I don't get that.
And I think that's what they're trying to get TikTok to do is to sell it so the way they could just shelf it.
I don't know. It matter who they sell it to. 'Cause who they sell it to could use it, like Elon Musk. He bought
Hmm.
Twitter. He didn't kill Twitter. He bought it and he made it a part of the thing. But
Yeah, but Twitter's been going down the drain since it was
I
bought.
mean, but the reason why Elon Musk wanted Twitter is more of a political reason, and it wasn't about money for him, and it helped Trump get into office because Twitter is it's just a mosh pit of horrible misinformation and porn and just craziness. So what is that?
I don't know.
Oh, you think you blocked us with this thing?
Oh, I probably could have with this article. I didn't know it was showing. My bad. I was reading an article.
You gotta do that stuff on the other computer, babe.
My bad. Goodness. But anyway, they were saying that it was only 9 months that TikTok had with the law that Biden had signed into law.
hmm
So
And I think what they said is 90 days that
yeah,
they'll have a 90-day grace period, and Trump will be in there, so maybe he can do something to stop the sale. A lot of people are hoping, and he said he liked TikTok. TikTok helped him out a lot, so
yeah,
he's
because he was trying to. They're trying to say that his son Barron helped him win the election and help him get into office by knowing the 18-year-old generation now and using TikTok as an influence to help him win the election.
well. Let's go into this next story here. We're talking about how black Republicans are feeling some type of way after Trump's second term cabinet picks. Um, it's giving empty seat at the table vibes. I think that was supposed to be you, but
Yeah, it was.
let's just get to it. Besides the HUD secretary, because of course, urban development must mean a black person, right? Trump hasn't picked any other black folks for his cabinet. He had and why can't I think of dude name from the last time? Can't hear anything.
No, she can't.
Man, I don't know why this ain't working.
I don't know, but it's just TikTok. Um, so why does Trump think that the urban job is the only black job? Like there's some sort of secret memo saying that hood means black people.
Yeah, man. I mean, we had Ben Carson in there last time. Ben Carson was the person who ran it last time. So, it seems like he thinks that's the only black job there is. So try the speakers. So I don't know, man. Um, let's take a quick break.
All right.
Commercial.
Which one is the commercial?
Hey y'all, it's Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken, Habari Entertainment sponsor. Let's go get it.
Man, this Mama Soul's fish and chicken. I ain't never had a piece of fish that tastes so good. I'm not a shrimp person, but they fry shrimps. It's so good.
What's
It's
the
so
french
good.
fries?
The dressing and the greens and the cornbread.
Still, man, fuck.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Did it come? Did it come back?
Yeah, I'm trying to work it now. I'm asking, can they hear on TikTok now? So
It doesn't look like it because I don't see it moving down there at the bottom.
I don't think it's ever moved down here at the bottom for TikTok, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But I changed the settings just like I did here. So
I don't know, man. It's been trash all day.
yeah, I don't really know. But anyway, um,
It's on you.
okay. So America, sir, America is not 90% white. White folks make up about 50% of the country.
You're on the wrong one. But it's all good. Do what you're gonna do.
You said empty table. We talked about hood. Your last one was a
Just go. All right.
representation. So
No, it wasn't. But all right.
the rest of us, we're out here holding it down. We're being the other 50%. We're the one that's working the jobs. We're paying the taxes, cooking the food. You know, we're the ones that's making things work.
Yeah, man. It's tough, man, because I'm not one to you can't I'm not one to be against black Republicans. They can do whatever they want to do. That's their thing. But they ask, they're worried about, they want representation. And if you ever looked at any Republican, maybe Bush had a couple more. I think he had a black woman and a black man. So that was a big deal back then. Um, but it was never. Uh,
Ooh, whatever I did gave an echo.
you added another microphone. Um, can you mute all? Mute. Yeah. So I mean, it's all good. Unmute. I don't think it's working anyway. Turn that up.
Yeah, there you go. That's working now.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe they can hear us finally. It's been 30 minutes of not hearing us. But anyway, like I was saying, America's usually the cabinet members. It's a lot more diverse. To see Trump putting together a cabinet that's pretty much 100% white, an Indian guy and a black guy, it's pretty disgraceful. I saw a lot of people online saying, "Well, this is America. This is pretty much how America is," and that's not true. Um, that's not true at all. America is a very diverse country. I think it's 52%, 55% white, something like that, and the rest is different minorities. So it's it's not it's not a situation of his cabinet is a great picture of what America looks like or what America is. We have to do better, man. The Republican Party has never put a black person in front. They have never put a black vice president.
Mm-hmm.
They have never. I mean, they have put a woman when John McCain was running, but man, it's always been a situation where they have not represented the country and how the country's dynamics looks. It's never been a good job. So this is another time that they're doing this.
I mean, you know, he looked at America and thought, "Nah, we're sticking with the starter pack."
Right.
Meanwhile, the country is speeding towards a minority majority,
Mm-hmm.
and you could just feel the demographic anxiety that they're having,
Right.
right?
Right.
And it's got some of these folks, they're clinging to Trump like he's the last can of pumpkin spice in November.
So, but when Trump, when he gets to a point to select cabinet members, he's like, minorities I never heard of. He straight up acts like he hasn't heard of these people.
Mm-hmm.
When he was elected in 16, he had 19 white men in his cabinet. That was the least diverse group of presidential advisors in over 40 years. 40 years, man. So I mean, we have to do better, man. And I black people don't want to complain, but black men did vote for him at a 22%
Mm-hmm.
clip.
Yep.
So you would think he would put more than one black man in charge. Man, I get it. That's not his thing. He only think we have one black job, and that's HUD.
I wouldn't even say just one black person. I would say he should have more than one minority, regardless if it's a black person, an Asian person, anybody.
It should be about 50-50 when it comes to minorities
His cabinet should
and
be
white
a
people.
completely diverse cabinet,
Right,
but
because
it's
like I
not.
said, the country is 52%
Right.
white and it's almost a majority minority, like you just said. We get it. Change is scary, but you can't stop the future by pretending it's still 1950. At some point, you've got to make room for everybody at the table, not just the ones who look like you. We can't just have a white Republican Party forever. And people wonder why so many black people do not vote for them, because when it comes down to it, they never put us in positions of power. Never having a black vice president, never having them put a fourth a black president. They have never put a candidate up that has dark skin.
Yep.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're not racist. It's the Democrats that are racist." But Democrats have put up all type people of color.
Not just that, they've put up women, men,
Exactly.
black, white,
A more
diverse
a picture of what we are today, what
Right.
America is.
Right.
So it's just sad to see them do that. The black Republicans can be upset, but hey, this is what you get for voting for somebody who is 100% against everything that has to do with black people. That's what you get.
Yep.
You voted for this crap, and hey, you have to lay in it, man. What they say, F around and find out.
Yep.
That's what they've been saying. That's been going viral all week.
It's been going for like 2 weeks now.
Because the moves that they are making. Now, they want to kill all public schools. He's talking about taking away. They were talking about taking away public schools that teach critical race theory. Taking away funding from them. Like, this is the dumbest shit, dog. Dumb.
Amen.
Critical race theory, they have built this thing that they hated so much. And it's not even a big deal. It's just an extra class that people can take. But oh my goodness, man, critical race theory, we want that gone. So you're going to take away funding from people?
Yep.
Just for they won't teach it? That's crazy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Amen. I mean, but hey, at least the black Republicans are learning a valuable lesson, right? I mean, you can cap all you want to, but if the invitation ain't coming, maybe it's time to just stop showing up to the party.
You would think so. But coming up next, we're going to talk about the lack of diversity under Trump for the next 4 years and how that's going to have impact on what we're seeing today. How these things are going to hurt us. Because, they hate education. This is going to hurt the black communities. These are going to hurt the poor communities. These are going to hurt communities, the especially places here, man. We've already seen in Arizona 5 schools they talking about shutting down because of this voucher program where people can take their money away from the public school and take it to whatever school they want to take it to. That's tough, man. These people they're going to suffer. They're not going to be able to teach people in their community because the school is gone. Because they don't have enough money. They talking about they had $5 million in the hole. These school districts are suffering, man. And Arizona is doing everything they can to take every dollar that they can from these people. It's insane. So, you take your money and you take it away from the public school. What do you think the public school is going to do?
Yep.
They're suffering. it's crazy, man. I just wish we would think about what we're doing before we vote, man. And we did a bad job this time. This is going to have an effect on a lot of people, man. Everybody can't send they kid to fucking private school. Some people can't afford that. It costs a lot of money to go to private school, man. And they think that everybody just wants to pay to go to school. That's unfair. Some people are too poor. I don't know what to do, man. I mean, you can say it all you want to, but it's tough when you have people that don't care. They'll rather vote on cultural issues like which bathroom are trans people going in. They'll rather vote about that than to vote about the things that really matter. How much money these things are going to cost us? How much is this going to cost us that we don't have public schools for all these kids? These kids going to get left behind, man.
Yeah.
They're going to get left behind. They're going to become criminals because they're not going to see any other option but the streets. Mm-hmm. And how does that help America? I really don't understand it at all, man.
It doesn't. And I mean, going into things that are going to hurt once Trump gets into office.
Mm-hmm.
With Donald Trump's return to the White House and the Republicans taking full control of Congress in 2025, the Affordable Care Act, Medicaid's expansion is back on a chopping block. With more than 3 million adults in 9 different states that would be at an immediate risk of losing their health coverage should the GOP reduce the extra federal Medicaid funding that's enabled states to widen their eligibility. I mean, according to KFF, which is a health information nonprofit that includes KFF Health News,
mm-hmm.
and the Georgetown University Center for Children and Families, this is because states have a trigger law that would swiftly end their Medicaid expansions if the federal funding fails. The states that are in jeopardy, the people that are in jeopardy for losing their health care are in Arizona, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Utah, and Virginia.
It's a shame, man.
And here's an example of the state's Medicare funding failing, right? So if in Arizona, in the state of Arizona, if the funding falls below 80%, people will start losing their health care.
Yeah, man. That sucks. We got people losing their homes, people being lost into the streets because they can't pay health care. And then I mean it's a big situation because we saw in New York today where the CEO of United Healthcare was shot in the back. And we all know that this is because the person who shot him, his family member or someone he cares about
was denied care. But, with that incident with the CEO at United Healthcare, they are saying that the person that committed the crime could possibly be a former employee with a grudge.
Yeah, he could.
Or he could be an actual client, like you said. Either him or someone in his family were denied care.
Yes, definitely. It could be either one of those things. But my guess is that it's someone that lost someone. Because these people are making decisions on people's life and who to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And people are dying, losing everything that they have because they're not getting coverage. That's what the Obamacare was, to try to get more and more people coverage. But because we have so many states and so many people doing everything that they can to make sure that people aren't covered. Healthcare it should be a right of every American that's born in this country.
Instead, they want to initiate all these different restrictions and requirements and eligibility requirements, and then they say, oh, well, you don't check this eligibility box, denied.
And
Like,
could you imagine if the Obamacare wasn't there and people were getting turned away for pre-existing conditions like they were before?
right. Oh, so you got asthma? You want to change your insurance company?
Right.
Sorry, you can't
They
come over here unless you have a rollover.
they would do anything they can. They will let you die for their profits to look good. That's crazy to me.
Yep.
For their profits, they will let people die. They're making decisions on people living and dying by looking at their profit lines. Now, if you don't think that is crazy, if you don't think that is un-American, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. But we have one side, one party that wants medicine. They want all healthcare to be all about money.
Yep.
We have another party that's trying to put
For
forth.
profit. For profit. That's what they want.
But you know that they want all for profit healthcare. You know, it was a dude way back in the day in New Orleans who had a hospital, and he made the hospital nonprofit, and the pressure from the state and from people to make it profit, everybody on them. Oh, you shouldn't be giving away free health care.
They mad.
Everybody mad. They don't want this man giving away free health care. Like, dude, what is wrong with us? A healthy population means we have a healthy workforce. I don't understand why we think that, oh, just forget our people. We're not going to give them no help, no health care. We're going to let them lose everything because they can't pay their insurance bills. They can't pay their medical bills. And we got companies like United Healthcare making decisions to say, fuck you and fuck your life.
And they're the biggest health companies there is. I mean, now that this has happened with United Healthcare, other major insurers like Aetna, Cigna, Centene, they're scrubbing their websites so no one can find the data on their top executives in the company.
They've always been horrible. Hospitals have been horrible. They don't want to show their prices. It's all a
Exactly.
ripoff. Everybody just ripping everybody off.
And that was a federal law
they
that was passed.
They still don't want to do it.
That all hospitals must provide transparency pricing.
And still ain't doing it.
Only 1/5 of American hospitals show pricing online. 1/5 of all hospitals in America.
Crazy. Craziness.
I mean, with the United Healthcare Chief Executive Officer being unalive this week, NYPD investigators did find a backpack in Central Park that they believe belonged to the suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Investigators have yet to officially confirm the origin of the bag, and they are taking it to be forensically tested in a lab in Queens.
Mm.
According to the detectives on Friday, they said that they have reason to believe that the person responsible for the shooting has left the city, according to the police commissioner. With the search for the shooter suspected of killing Brian Thompson now in its 4th day, the widespread manhunt is expanding, and officials implore the public beyond the city's borders to help them identify the suspect by taking a closer look at the unmasked man in the surveillance images that were released on Thursday.
I mean, you don't want to see this happen to anybody. It's sad.
It is. It's very sad.
Yeah, it's definitely sad, man. You don't want to see that happen to anyone, man. But these insurance companies, man, they have to start thinking about somebody else, man. People are pissed, dude. You know how mad this dude has to be to take a bus to New York, stay in a hostel, stay on the streets for days waiting for this dude just to take him out, man.
Yep.
You know how upset he has to be. Dude was pissed, man.
Pissed.
And it's like, I mean, we're all jumping to conclusions because we don't know for sure what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, man, it's with Americans hurting and a lot of Americans losing everything because they can't afford health care.
Yep.
It seems like it's a correlation. It seems like there's the lines are and the dots are connecting, man. And a lot more people are seeing that this is trash.
Mm-hmm.
We have to figure out a better way to do this system. Man, you got man, dude. We had our first kid 3 years ago. How much money did it cost to have a kid? If we didn't have the care that we had at the time that helped us out,
It would have cost over $20,000.
$20,000 just to have a kid, man.
And that's just for the hospital room.
Right. And these people, they're against abortion. They're telling us, you need to have this kid, man. Dude, this thing, hey man, this having a kid is expensive nowadays. They're telling you from the day the kid is born to 18, you're gonna spend $1 million.
Yeah. My sister just sent me a screenshot a couple of days ago of she was like, "Are you serious? Is this real?" And she's starting to get the bills from when she had her son.
Right.
And just the anesthesia bill alone was almost $2,000. Just for them for the anesthesia.
Right. That's insane. That's insane, man. How much money stuff costs. What are we gonna do when it start getting people are like you think the amount of people are changing their minds on how many kids they have now? When this stuff keeps going up, people are not gonna have any kids.
Yep.
It costs too much.
Too much.
You can barely take care of yourself in this place. Groceries skyrocketing, gas skyrocketing. And these companies, everybody think Trump and them gonna help, man. And this is one thing we want to talk about real fast and we want to delve into. Why do people think that Republicans are good for the economy when the history has told us something different?
Right.
History has told us that the Democrats have done better for the economy and for the little people. Now we went through history and we've looked through some stories and we've cut through the noise and got straight to the facts. And basically we came to a consensus that Democrats are better for the economy.
Mm-hmm.
You see yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's on you.
You're right. No.
We're diving into the real story.
All right. And today we're diving into the real story behind the US economy, and we're going to bust down some myths about who's creating economic growth. Spoiler alert. It ain't who you think it is.
No. A lot of people for some reason think it's the Republican Party. Well, we all know better. Here's the deal. When you look at the actual data, the US economy has consistently performed better under Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Presidents, then Republicans, Democrat presidents, then Republican ones.
That's right. And whether we're talking about job growth, unemployment rates, manufacturing investments, small business creation, or even the national debt, the facts paints a clear picture. The Democrats are driving stronger economic performances.
Let's hit them with the numbers, man. Since the early 1980s, job growth under Democratic presidents has totaled over 50 million. Under Republican presidents, just 17 million.
And, remember, when Trump left office in 2020 with 2.7 million fewer Americans employed than when he started. He's the first modern era president to oversee a net job loss.
And people screaming, "Oh, I was better under Trump.
I had more money in my
I was
pockets
better
under
under
Trump."
You idiots. You was better under Obama's. That was Obama's economy. Trump's economy is the crap that we living in now because of his stupid ass tariffs. This dude left with a negative job placement report. Mm-hmm. Negative. The first president. He oversaw net job losses. He lost more jobs than he gained.
Yep.
And we just put this dude back in office. Because like I said, man, it's not about the economy. It's about these cultural things. Whose bathroom, who's going to what? Critical race theory, DEI. Those are the things that these people care about. They don't care about the economy, man. They can't be struggling the way they are because if you were struggling, you would care about these things. You would see the net job losses, how this dude then lost jobs, how everything went so expensive under his watch. And then it's Biden. It's Biden. Nah, man, people, we remember. But everybody else, they remember what they want. And as long as it's pointing toward them to vote for Trump, they was gonna roll with that anyway.
Yep.
They hate Mexicans. They hate the people coming across the border, and that's what they're about. That's what the things that they care about. They DEI, black people in movies. Those are the things they care about the most. They think the world is their America is being taken over by minorities. Hey, y'all don't have enough kids anymore, man. That's the way the world is going. It's going to be a majority minority country.
Yep.
All of Europe, they having these problems. They're not having babies. But what you want to think is going to happen? You think all these companies are not going to want to build? They can't build without growth in the country. Without population growth, there's no way in the world that they can keep saying we're going to keep making more money. How? You gotta figure out who's going to be here. If we're having less and less people here, it's not going to help. So, meanwhile, under the Biden-Harris administration, the economy has added over 16 million jobs, bouncing back strong from the pandemic and recession. That's what actual growth looks like. The recession that started under Trump because of the mishandling of the pandemic. Now, I know a lot of people like to ignore it and just blame Joe. But Joe wasn't a perfect president, but he did much better than this dude did. 16 million jobs under them. A loss of jobs under Trump. I mean, what is that even? What is the discussion?
You're right, and it's not just about the job numbers, right? Because historically, the U.S. economy has grown faster, unemployment has shrunk quicker, and the national debt increased slower
under Democrats.
Under Democratic leadership.
Every
time, like right now. Like you just said, over 16 million jobs have been added to the economy since Biden and Harris has taken office.
Yeah.
That's plus the 2.7 million job losses that Trump netted when he was in office.
The people that will ignore this stuff, that's why I say to them, y'all don't really care about these things, man. Here's a pattern worth noting. 10 out of 11 modern era recessions started under Republican presidents. They like recessions. I don't know why. I guess if the poor people lose more money, is more pump money to the rich. And
recessions and government shutdown.
They love it. They love recessions. 10 out of 11 recessions has started under them.
I mean, the difference comes down to priorities here. The Democrats focus on investing in the middle class, supporting small businesses, and creating economic resilience. Republicans, on the other hand, they're prioritizing tax cuts for the wealthy that don't even deliver substantial growth.
It's a simple story, man. Policies that work for everyday Americans lead to a stronger economy. So next time you hear someone talk about economics, performance, make sure they've got their facts straight, because they usually don't. And we look at all this stuff and we see it over the years. Republican has done a horrible job in the economy.
Yep, you're right. So, I mean, we're just getting started here, right? So,
don't worry about that one. So yeah, man, like I said, man, we've looked at numbers. We've watched it ourselves. We've seen it ourselves, man. These people do not care about the economy. They do not care about what's going on. They don't care about your pockets. They care about theirs. Mm-hmm. For you to think that somebody that's a billionaire and all these rich people have any inclination on how it means to be poor. They don't know what it means to pinch a dollar. They don't know what it means to have your last. They don't understand the struggling. They don't even get it. They're going to look at us like we're dumb because we can't figure out how to be in their shoes. They don't care about you, man. It's so hard for me to understand why people think Elon Musk cares about you. They're gonna go in there and he's talking about he's gonna remove all this money from the budget. He's gonna do all this. Yeah, he's gonna do that. And all of this shit that he removes is gonna hurt you and your dollars.
Yep.
Your dollars are gonna get hurt. You're not gonna be able to afford your rent. They don't understand the people living off $2,000, $3,000 a month. They don't get that. They make thousands a minute.
It's not something that they're doing. They don't have to worry about, oh, well, damn, I only got $3,000 in my account this month.
Exactly.
What bill am I finna put off?
Exactly.
Because when your average rent for most places is $15,000 to $2,000, that's taking off all your money that you got coming in every month.
Most people can't afford that. I mean, we just saw that Arizona is in the top 10.
Top 10 of states with the most people who are having or who are in financial distress.
Distressed.
We're in the top 10.
People can't afford. That's why in the last 6-8 years, we've seen homelessness here just skyrocket. The amount of people that we see walking around with shopping baskets, living in on the bus stops, is just skyrocketed in the last couple years. But a rent has skyrocketed. Yeah. I mean, rent, babe, you're gonna block. You can't.
Sorry.
Rent has went to $1,200 for a decent 3-bedroom. To now you got to pay $23. It's went up $20,000. I mean, $1,000. You used to be able to get a nice little what do they call those small units?
Studios.
A studio. My bad. You used to be able to get a studio for $600-$700. Now it's $1,000.
Yep.
1 bedroom $1,200. 2 bedrooms $17. Like, what is going on? People can't afford this crap, man. And then the same people are upset when companies try to raise their wages. They're pissed off. Oh, that's just gonna. No, man. The prices of shit gonna go up anyway. The prices of goods have went up since the 90s. I don't know how much. But what, we're still making the same amount of money that we was making in the 90s. Nothing. You know, it's dude, wages have to go up faster. But we got so many people that do not want wages to go up. They get pissed. McDonald's workers, they're at 15. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, why are they making that much money? My burger gonna cost. Your burger already costs $15 for a Big Mac. Now the people that work there can't even afford to buy the thing.
Right. It's $15 for a Big Mac, and the motherfucker that's working there
can't afford to buy it.
$15. Like, how?
In some places here, they making $15. Not everywhere.
Right, not everywhere.
Do you think about these Alabamas and Louisianas?
But
they're not making that.
I have noticed too that even though in our city, like they're the McDonald's over here on 32nd Street in Greenway.
Yeah.
They charging $9-$10 for a kid's meal. The McDonald's on 7th Street in Bell, it's $7.99 for the kids' meal.
Well, I mean, every owner can do what they want to.
Right, their prices are different.
Right,
but it's the same thing. It doesn't matter where you go. The prices are going to be relatively high for their meals, and their workers aren't making enough money to cover the cost of the meal.
Nah, man, they're not making anything, and it's a shame to see them suffering. One minute.
Yeah, because it's behind you.
To see everybody suffering to make it. People are trying to figure it out, man. Do you have any other stories?
Yeah, we do. What is it, sweetie? I know you want a Happy Meal. You always want a Happy Meal. But, you know, my last story this week is the former Illinois sheriff deputy that was charged with the first-degree murder in the shooting death of Sonia Massey could soon be set free.
What the hell?
Following an appellate court ruling that cleared the way for his pretrial release. At his hearing on Monday, the circuit court judge said that he will, on Friday, determine the restrictions of Sean Grayson's release. The judge, his name is Ryan Cadigan.
So I'm guessing he's being released and he's still going to have to go to court and everything like that.
Yeah, he's still going to have to go to court. He's still going to have to go through trial. But, you know, they're setting a way for he could be released prior to his trial,
Yeah,
so
he
he
can go
can
home and
right go home
spend the trial at home.
at home, right? But Sonia Mass's family is like, he's right where he needs to be. He should not be allowed to get out of jail before his trial.
Right. Well, I mean, the court will weigh that. They will see if they feel as though he's a flight risk.
Hmm.
If they find that they don't think that he's a flight risk before his court date,
Yep.
they'll let him go home.
And uh, Grayson's attorneys are saying that their office plans to appeal that ruling.
Mhm.
The prosecutor's office is saying that they plan to appeal that ruling. So there could be an issue where he really doesn't get out before
Yeah.
trial. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah. Long as he still faces trial, where he's at, to me doesn't matter. I don't if they want to let him go home for a little while, whatever. But as long as he pays the price for what he did to that damn lady, I really don't care. Because what he did was ridiculous. No, stop it. What he did was ridiculous, and he has to pay the price for that. That was sad, and he just went in that house and killed that lady, man. I've never seen anything like that. That was ridiculous, and how aggressive he was. To me, he doesn't deserve to go home.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't deserve to go
he's
home the
not
way he
he's
acted.
not on the job anymore.
Right.
So he doesn't have the job anymore. So he'll just be sitting at home.
But he can still go get a job at another precinct.
No, he can't. Not right now. Not with no
Now,
murder charge.
not while the current trial
Right.
is going on, but after the fact.
If he's found not guilty, maybe. Because what would you the dude that shot what was the little boy name? They just rolled up on Tamar.
Tamir Rice.
Yeah, Rice. When they shot him, those guys was found innocent, and they're working other places now.
Yep.
So it's a damn shame. But hopefully, man, they do the right thing, and this guy pays the price, man. Because one thing that people really really disliked and people went to the streets for is these police shootings and these police killings. So let's go ahead and get to sports.
We got a hot mess in the sports.
You can't read it.
No, I can't read those little words, and it don't tell me on here. It just this is what it says.
Okay.
All right. This week's hot mess. I was late picking it, but I knew I was gonna find something good, and I did because Zach Collins gave the bird.
Zach Collins.
After he was rejected from the Spurs game, he flipped the bird to the refs.
Oh.
They said that he better be getting his wallet open because he's likely gonna have a hefty fine to pay for flipping.
That's your
bird.
hot mess if dude flipped the bird.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff out here, but that was the one that I found the most funny. Other than the White House has to pay $140,000 just to clean it before Trump gets into office.
To clean the White House?
To clean the White House, it's $140,930. And they started cleaning and deep scrubbing each wing just before Thanksgiving last month.
I don't know how your hot mess isn't Drake.
Because I'm tired of talking about Drake.
We ain't even talked about that. We've never even discussed it. But anyway, let's talk about that for a minute. We ain't doing shit anyway. So Drake has decided to sue Kendrick, and I know everybody know about this, but it's just that's a hot mess. That's not everybody, even Charlamagne. Everybody said it. This is not hip hop, man. And to all these cats that was taking up for him, talking about, oh, he's trying to fight the system. Fuck out of here. It's garbage. Can't take up for that trash. That dude is whack. Weak. That's whack, man. You lost the battle, you go sue. That's the wackest shit I think I've ever seen in the history of hip hop.
It is.
Nobody does that. Who does that, man? Where they going, I'ma go tell. That's that dude, like Charlamagne said also. He profited from the deals. He's been the number one in streaming for years, decades. It's not a problem. But then once he gets beat and somebody else is streaming more than him, I'm gonna go cry. I want to sue. Man, dog, this made you look even worse. You was already on the chump change side, and now that you do this is the weakest thing I've seen in the history of hip hop. Nobody's telling you to go fight, but if you take a L, just take a L. You lost. You don't have to go out there shoot nobody or anything like that, man. The rhymes are what we wanted to hear, and Kendrick killed you with the rhymes. I see his fans online. Nobody listen to Kendrick. Get the fuck out of here. You're wrong.
More people listen to Kendrick than they do Drake.
At this moment, yes, but not in all time. Drake is, to people that Drake is a pop artist.
Right. He definitely is a pop artist.
And women love him, and all type people love him. He's a pop artist. He's a pop star. Drake, and Kendrick, he's a rapper. But he had hits, man. He had hits this year. Them hits killed you. And he just dropped this new album, and people are loving it. But everybody, ain't nobody listening to no Kendrick in their car. I ain't never got in nobody's car. I used to bump it all the time. I hate people who think just because they haven't seen something, it doesn't exist. That is the pure ignorance, dog. It's so hard to talk to people like that. Just because you didn't hear. I've never heard anybody listen to Achy Backy Heart back in the day when they picked me up. Not one person I knew bumped that, but it was a hit. Is it not a hit just because nobody that was hanging out with me was listening to it?
Right.
What kind of crap is that? Ain't nobody. I heard Charleston White saying the same. Ain't nobody in the South bumping no Kendrick. That's West, man. Shut up, man. The South has their own music. They listen to stripping music, booty bumping music. That's what they listen to.
Right.
He doesn't have to be big in the South to be sell albums.
Exactly.
Like, dog, I swear, man. There's people in the South that listen to that man's music. Just because Charleston White didn't get into the car and listen to somebody listening to it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
This is the ignorance that I'm talking about.
Did you get into everybody's car to see what they was listening to?
Nah, he talking about the people that he know. That's the shit that kills me,
Everybody
man.
love to say that.
Man,
nobody I know listen to that.
It's dumb as hell.
It is.
Man, if the people are bumping this man's music. People love Kendrick Lamar. I've been a fan for at least 10 years.
We've bought at least 3 of his albums.
I've never bought a Drake album. I don't like listening to Drake. I don't like, hold on, we going home. That's it's too soft for me, bro. That's not rap. If I want to hear some soft shit, I'll go put on Elder Bars.
Right.
I go put on them cats. I don't listen to no soft dude trying to be a rapper, man. It don't work for me.
Yeah, it's
whack.
It's whack. But something else that just came out.
What's that?
One of Diddy's accusers have been revealed. As Anna Kane.
Who the hell is that?
The ex-wife of NHL star Evander.
You ain't changed the camera.
Diddy is facing the mountain of lawsuits, as we know, from a bunch of anonymous accusers. But one of the accusers' names has now been revealed, and she is known as the ex-wife of professional hockey player. According to the new legal documents that TMZ was able to obtain, one of the Jane Does suing Diddy for sexual assault was ordered to reveal her identity if she wanted to continue with her lawsuit. So now that we know that her name is Anna Kane, she used to be married to the NHL star, the hockey player, Evander Kane. I don't know who that is, but
I don't know hockey at all.
But yeah, that's
oh man,
that's crazy. They're saying that she's saying that in her lawsuit that she was 17 years old when Diddy assaulted her, and she was also gang raped by Diddy and some of his friends, whoever was at the party or whoever was there. Right? So we shall see what goes on with this particular case, since we know one of his accusers and who she is and what she looks like.
Yeah, man. Diddy, he's a joke right now, man. He's a joke. Um, he has a lot of accusations he got to fight against, and it's not looking good for bro.
Yep.
But let's get to some sports, man. Welcome to Habari Sports. I'm Damon Ellison. You want to run it?
Yeah, I think I can get it. There we go.
All right, I'm Damon Dipling Nelson, and we've got to talk about last night's frustrating loss for the Phoenix Suns. It wasn't light; it was like 2 nights ago. The Phoenix Suns against the New Orleans Pelicans. Um, we lost the close game. It was without Kevin Durant. He was out with a high ankle sprain. We're hoping he'll be back soon. The Pelicans, a team that was on a 9-game losing streak, mind you, somehow edged out the Suns 126-124 win over the Suns, who now dropped to 1-7 without Kevin Durant. The left ankle sprain he's nursing. Yes, it's really showing how much this team leans on him. Um, he has been everything for this team. Devin Booker is he's starting to get back into his groove, but he's spent a lot of time playing that 3-and-D role. That I think he's having a little trouble getting back into that role of being the main scorer. So here's the deal. This game was winnable. There were flashes of brilliance, great defensive stretches, depth stepping up in the absence of Durant, Ryan Dunn, and Yusuf Nurkic. But man, the turnovers killed us. I think we had 17 fucking turnovers. Um, so that's a lot of turnovers, man. 17 turnovers, that's a lot of mental mistakes. And don't get me started on the third quarter, giving up 45 fucking points after holding the Pelicans to just 54 in the first half. 45 points in the third quarter. 45. That is a goddamn shame for anybody to be giving up that many points, man. The defense in the NBA today is horrid. It's horrible. That's not just letting your foot off the gas, man. That's leaving the keys in ignition and walking away is what they did in the third quarter. Devin Booker gave it his all. 28 points, battling through a physical game, drawing fouls, but he shot just 6 for 20. Horrible shooting, bad shooting situations, taking bad shots. It's tough seeing him struggle like this, especially against a team that on paper we should have beat easily. Easily, we should have beat these boys. These boys was on a nine-game losing streak. They have won 4 games all year. And we let them trash us like that. That was disgraceful. In the final minute, Booker made some great plays, tying the game with clutch free throws. But then it came down to execution. Grayson Allen had 2 big 3-point attempts, missed the first, hit the second, but it wasn't enough. I wish the 3-point, man. The 3-pointer, it's a big part of the Phoenix Suns offense. It's a big part of every team's offense nowadays. Everybody's 100% shooting threes. It was a clip going around of the Lakers playing the Suns and them just running up and down the court missing threes, and it looks bad, man. It's going viral. Everybody just laughing at the NBA, throwing up threes everywhere. And it's hard to watch. But this is what we want to do, man. We want to just keep shooting them. The Suns dropped a 12-9 record. I think we got the Heat tonight. And then we got the Magic on Sunday. So we got a back-to-back. I don't know if we're going to get Kevin Durant in that back-to-back. Probably not, because he's nursing the health situation with his ankle. I'm hoping that he's able to get back in there, man, because without him right now, we're not looking too good, man. We're not looking good at all. Looking ahead, it doesn't get any easier with the Heat, who did blow out the Lakers by 40 the other day. The Suns are showing they can be a good team. They were good when Durant was in there. But even without Durant, we should be able to stay consistent enough to keep these games close. We're getting We're getting beat by bad teams that we should be able to stop. But we're losing these games, man. And I don't know if it's coaching or what's going on. But Booty Budenholzer is a good coach, and I think he's going to get this turned around. I'm hoping. Bradley Beal, he added 24 points and played his heart out, but those 7 turnovers, man, ouch. We can't afford that margin of error without our full squad, man. We can't have 7 turnovers. The turnovers was a big issue last year. And this year I was hoping that there was something with picking up Marcus Morris and the other point guards, that we were going to do a better job of with the turnovers, but it still seems to be a problem that keeps rearing its ugly head. CJ McCollum was able to ice it for the New Orleans Pelicans with that isolation play over Allen. And to be fair, Allen's defense was decent, but McCollum made a tough shot. That's just how the ball bounces sometimes, man. We have to do better and play better throughout the first 3 quarters, for we can have better fourth quarters. Where do we need to go from here? Is the Suns need to clean up those mental errors and find a way to stay stable without Kevin Durant. Otherwise, the season margin for error is going to get smaller and smaller. We're already in I think the 7th spot. It's not a lot of games that separate the 7th from the second. I think it's 1 game. But we still need to get more consistent, man, for we can play better. So one thing I do want to talk about is some of the games from last night. We had the Lakers losing a tight one to Atlanta over in overtime. Why didn't it do my scores? I don't see my other scores. But let's run this comic book corner real fast. Let me see. See if I can get some more scores real fast while we get this set up. All right, so let's go. It's got comic book corner. We're going to talk about the Creature Commandos real fast, man. It's a energetic superhero show. Um, looks pretty good, man. I'm liking what they're doing so far. Um, Today we're going to dive into the James Gunn's first project in the newly rebooted DC universe, Creature Commandos. Like I said.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So, welcome back to Comic Book Corner.
You should be on That's Right.
Oh, sorry. You're right. That's right. The animated series brings the same wild energy that James Gunn is famous for in projects like Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker. But since this one is animated, it takes the gore and violence up a notch, which is definitely not for the kids. So, I mean, Weasel literally likes to eat children.
Right. So yeah, I laughed at the same time when looking at some of the episodes. So far, only 2 episodes are out, and they're delivering a solid mix of bloody action, Gunn's signature humor, and some surprisingly heartfelt moments. Go ahead.
I mean, you're right. The first episode introduced the ragtag group of misfits, each more chaotic than the last. And then the second episode takes a deeper dive into one of the characters' backstories. And I have to say, it was handled really well for a DC show.
Yeah, man. You know, they're trying to get something going here. For a show that's as over the top as this, they're doing a great job balancing the crazy action with the meaningful character development. And it's a smart way to kick off the new DCU. The series feels like it's laying down the tone and a vibe we can expect moving forward.
But Damon, are we also hyping it up too much? Because this is just the first project in their reboot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. But I think it's the decent show, man, and it's taking it a, a different direction. It's a fair point. I wouldn't call it groundbreaking yet, but it's definitely fun to watch. Critics are raving about how it sets the stage for DC's new direction.
You're right. It does set the stage for DC's new direction. But I mean, critics are calling it one of the most fun superhero shows that they've ever seen, right?
Mm.
It's violent, it's heartfelt, and it's comedic. But I mean, how often do you laugh out loud during a fight scene where somebody loses a limb?
Right? Not often enough. And I love how Gunn is giving these lesser known DC characters their moment to shine. Most of the characters on the show I never heard of. They're all weird and tragic in their own ways, which makes them lovable, even if they're a bit unhinged.
And you're totally right. It's refreshing to see that DC is taking risks and leaning into the absurdity. But, this is what James Gunn does best. And so far, it could be paying off for DC.
Yeah, man. I want to give some of my thoughts about the show. I really liked him bringing in some of the things that happen in Suicide Squad, not ignoring the things that happen in Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
bringing in some of the storylines that happen in other movies, and putting that in place and discussing things that happen in other movies. That's what Marvel was killing
Mhm.
DC with. DC didn't have any continuity when it came to these things. They were not even
Right.
trying to
So
bring any continuity.
so now that, that this has come out, they're trying to say that, a lot of the stuff that's in Creature Commandos is canon to the things that happened in Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker,
Right.
because both of those stories had characters that passed away in the shows, and they're being referenced in Creature Commandos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So it's off to a strong start, and if you're into dark humor, wild action, and a little bit of heart, Creature Commandos is worth checking out.
I mean,
It's
yeah, you're right. It is worth checking out. I mean, I can say that there was one part at the end of episode 2 where
hmm
where when I first watched it, I laughed. And I laughed because I was like, "Damn, really?" Cuz you could foresee that you could foresee something messed up coming at the end
hmm
based off of what she said. Freaking magic
right.
in the episode. So
hmm
that lets you know, like, oh, this girl's magic is definitely gonna play a larger part in this episode, and it
Yeah,
did.
I mean, they are definitely it's definitely a James Gunn show. Um, he's the way he does things, you can see it immediately that is his basic uh um the basic movie roles, or the basic the plots, that the way he does things, it's James Gunn all the way. And you see that immediately, man, and that's pretty dope. I think he's doing a good job of making sure that you can see some of these characters flaws, some of the things that they've done to make them more popular and to
Mhm.
make people be more interested in what these characters are doing. I like it, man. DC has all over the years, they've been so focused on Batman, Batman, Batman,
And
Batman,
Superman.
and they really ain't done much Superman. It's
Not
just been
lately.
Batman.
Not lately, but those
Yeah,
are they
so
two main characters that they like to do stories on.
right, right, true. But Batman is everything. They've done so many Batman movies that it just they've never taken the time to bring out the other characters,
Yep,
man. And I think that they're doing a better job of bringing out characters that may be less known. And I really like what he's doing. And I'm going to be tuned in to Creature Commandos and what DC is doing here, and James Gunn.
definitely.
So we appreciate everybody watching. I know it was kind of choppy at first. We was having problems with our everything. So we apologize for the technical difficulties. We appreciate everyone on TikTok watching, everybody on YouTube that tuned in, everybody on Instagram and Facebook that tuned in. Man, we appreciate you guys. our subscribers were up to 2,300. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow, man. We want to get to 1,000 followers. So give us a follow. Follow what we're doing. Please help us out. We really enjoy people. Give us your opinions. If you have an opinion, you don't feel like we know what we're talking about, tell us. We don't take anything
that
personal.
comment section is gonna be your best friend.
Yeah. So
we are live.
Please
Also,
comment
comment
and talk to us, man.
Like,
we appreciate
share,
it.
follow, subscribe.
All
that good stuff.
All of the above. Please, man. We're trying to build something here, man, that's worth something, man. So we will check you guys out next time. And we will check you guys out next week. We will be back next week. We did take a quick little break, man, for like 2 weeks. So that's why you haven't seen us around.
And we will be taking another 2-week break
at the end of the year.
It is going to be December 21st and the weekend after, because it is Christmas weekend. So Christmas and New Year's weekend, we typically do not air shows, but we will come back in January. So the last show that you can catch for Habari Live is next Saturday, December 14th. That is the last episode for the year.
For the year, just for 2 weeks.
Just for the year.
Just for 2 weeks.
And when we come back, we'll be in season 4. Season 4, you guys.
Man.
Season 4.
Yeah, man. We've been working hard for 4 years, and it's tough, man. We haven't grown like a lot of places, but I think that we're gonna get there, man. We did a lot this year. We came a really far this year. Really far. I think we had
500
300 to 400 subscribers at the beginning of the year, and we've gained 2,000 subscribers from the beginning of the year to today. It's not a whole lot. Some people are getting more and killing, but for us, that's a lot, man. And we appreciate everybody that takes the time to like, to follow, and to subscribe to our page, man. We really appreciate everybody, and we're trying to get better and better at this, man, every week. And we appreciate your support and just watching and giving us the support we need to become better at what we're trying to do as a news company. So we'll let you guys go out of here. Peace. See you next week.
Holla, holla.